I do like the new visuals on
Yes.
the intro. Dan and I were talking about it last week, and
Yeah.
he had a picture of like the Jersey Shore Italian dude, and I'm like, no, it's not Goy, and so he put a picture of ABBA up there, and I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
I
brilliant.
didn't want
That's
I didn't want
brilliant.
Israel in there either. I'm not a big fan of
Yeah,
them right now, so I
right,
figured
right.
the dude from Steely Dan looks about as Heebie as you could get in the music
Yeah, he's
industry.
pretty. Yeah, and ABBA, good choice, man. That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just that is
very
super
goy.
Goy. I
Yeah,
mean, they're from the land of the Goy, like those,
land of the
like
goy. Yeah, oh,
like
yeah,
those like northern sort of countries. Oh, like super Goy.
absolutely, very very goy. I think the only we could have outdone. I could have maybe done the Garth Brooks, but Abba's good.
It's cringe. Yeah, I really like ABBA. I'm a big fan of ABBA
Yeah,
for
I do
sure.
too. I do too. Yeah, they're
You
good.
know.
I mean, how can you not like ABBA?
But
They're
super
good.
goy, I mean, because they're like, they're super blonde, and I love how they are like two couples, and then of course things are going bad in the couples, and then they sing about it, and it's super awkward and just like
I
it's
didn't know
great.
that. I didn't even know that. I just like their music. I didn't know they were couples.
Yeah, the two couples, and then a lot of the lyrics have to do with problems in
That's
relationships,
like
and it's
Fleetwood Mac. Same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
What's his
funny.
face and Stevie Nicks. You know.
So what's going on, bro? What episode number of the Heeb Goy show is this?
This is 37.
Christ, bro. There's a
Yeah.
lot of Heeb Goy shows, man.
Yeah, we do one a week. So, I mean, 37 means we're, 2/3 of a year
Yeah.
almost, basically. Um, and, you're getting ready to leave. I'm going to do next weekend. I'm going to do the Howard Stern deep dive with the substitute Goy.
Right, right, with Christina.
Yeah. And we'll talk about your adventures in a minute, but I wanted to start with news of the week. And we had a big story break this week that Bruce and I this is right up our alley. This is the shit that we love to talk about. We love this kind of shit. Um,
Oh my
so,
god.
so
Oh my god.
for those who've been living under a rock, Dave Grohl, the former Nirvana drummer, current Foo Fighters guy,
Right. Very, very
uh,
beloved. Everybody loves Foo
beloved.
Fighters.
Everybody loves
Everybody
him.
loves Dave Grohl. Such a great
It
guy.
came out that he fathered a child out of wedlock. So this guy's been married. He's married twice. He's on his second marriage. This one he's been married to for about 20 years.
Yeah, long ass.
He's
Yeah.
got 3 kids, as you can see here.
Adult kids, grown kids.
Well, okay, so I believe one's an adult. The other one's like high school age, and the other one's young.
Yeah.
So
Nice family.
he had at one point when I was Googling, at one point the oldest one I think sang at one of their shows. Like he brought her on stage, and that shit drives me insane. I have no interest in your kid playing it.
I don't like it either.
Like Eddie Van
Halen, what was the big news, Dan?
So I just said it came out that he had fathered a child with a as yet undisclosed woman. We don't know. There's been speculation who it might be, but no one knows who the woman is. He confirmed that he fathered a child. He's going to, he's going to do the right thing. He's going to raise the kid, and
I like. So you sent me this. What is the quote that he said on because this is great.
Okay, well, I was saving that for later.
This is because this quote for me is the crux of the
this
whole.
Is it. I love my wife and my children. I am doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness.
Right. I love that second part. So great.
So and look, I am not defending his actions even a little. Okay. The guy is a douche. It's a shit move. It's terrible. If you want to step out, you want to bang another girl, do your current partner the courtesy of saying, look, this isn't working out for me. I find myself looking at really being into other women, and we need to whatever. But just to
communication, fearless communication.
Yeah. So, but
in whatever form that
takes, said, and again, I'm not defending the guy. He's dick. All that's true.
Right.
But that said,
do you
you think you're getting forgiveness from her?
Absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely. Oh, you mean just like looking at her? Are we making
yeah,
judgments on her
we
by
are
the way she
making
looks?
we're making judgments. Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
why don't you tell me? So tell me a little bit about what was her history again? Like she was making a documentary on. Like I want to know about that, right? Like how
Yeah.
did
So okay. So she's born in 76. She's about our age.
we're talking about the wife of
She's a
20 years?
director and actress
Oh boy.
known for making a Foo Fighters documentary in 2002, and he and she got married in 2003. So I don't know whether his relationship with her predates the
I mean, no,
documentary.
but it works out. Like here's the deal. He's met because he was married before this 20 years, right? And so he had a marriage, and then this young chick at the time was following him around making a documentary about him. And then of course, a relationship blooms from that.
So
And
I'm looking at her IMDb, and the only things on here are Foo Fighters related.
of
So
course, but now
I
she's a
mean,
writer director or whatever.
yeah, I mean, I don't know this person. She's 5'7". She's tall. Um, look, we do a fun show, so yeah, it's fun to sort of speculate. Okay,
Okay.
I'm looking as we say in Yiddish. I'm looking at that punum, and I'm saying to
Hold
myself,
on. Back up. A new Yiddish word, punum.
face.
Wow, nice.
I'm looking at that
Okay.
punum. I'm looking at that punum, and I'm thinking, yeah, trust and regaining trust and earning forgiveness, not anytime soon, bud. Not
Yeah,
anytime soon.
she doesn't, I mean, if we're making, I know that it's horrible to, but just by looking at her, she seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's not going to forgive him. And rightly so, quite frankly. I mean, the problem I have with
No,
this,
no, no. I get
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not defending him in any way.
right.
I am just
He's got an uphill battle with her. Let's just
yeah, that's right.
it's
Yeah.
not going to go well.
Yeah,
And I love that he can
no.
just this is the greatest because we love it when, things go bad for other people and we talk about it. It's why we're going straight to hell, I suppose. But like he gets this story comes out and he comes out with this quote. Here he is. He's in a relationship for 20 years. He has a secret love child with this other woman who is probably younger. And then he says to the media, quote, "I love my wife and my children. I am doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness," unquote. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, it doesn't work like that. You are not going to sweep this under the rug. Like, well, not sweep it. It's not going to be done quick and tied up in a little bow, nice and neat like that. Like you're just going to like do some things and regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. Motherfucker, this is over. It's never going back to the way it was. It's never going back to the way it was. You know what I mean? What do you think?
No, it's not. But I'm trying to figure out the part that I find kind of interesting about this is that the kid has already been born. So
Oh my God.
that means that this was a long-standing thing.
Yeah, so he's in a relationship with this woman for, 20 years.
I'm just wondering why this came out. Like,
well, shit. I mean, when you're a celebrity, it's a big get. Like somebody saw, probably like a nurse in a hospital is like, "Hey, man, I'm calling up the National Enquirer. I got a hot tip. Do you know that the National Enquirer and these gossip sites like TMZ will pay you like a couple grand for a hot tip like that? Like easily." So some fucking nurse in a hospital or something was probably like privy to the fact that a woman was in there and, like they smuggle in Dave Grohl in a back room to see the birth of the kid or something. I don't know what the fuck happened, but you can't keep something like this quiet like that for that long when you're fucking Dave Grohl, and it's just going to come out and somebody, because of capitalism, somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to make me a quick dime and fucking drop the news on this guy."
I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it probably is there's no good answer. You either keep it quiet and don't acknowledge the kid, which is terrible, right?
Yeah.
Or you acknowledge the kid, which is good, but that means making it public.
I mean, he's fucked. I mean, he should have wore rubber. Look,
right? Yeah,
like what you said is true right from the get go. It's like, look, if you're Dave Grohl and you've been in a relationship for a long time, and you are starting to feel like, you know what, I want to scroll, because every man is going to have that sort of like looking at younger chicks and fantasizing about it, whatever, and that's fine. We're hardwired that way, lizard brain, like you said. But when you take it into the real world and cross a certain line, which he did, and then that is a distinction, because me and you are dudes in long-term relationships, and me and you like to fuck around and sort of think about things and talk about things like this. But there's a real line that we're but what's going on with Dave Grohl is like, yeah, he fucking stepped well over the line, and then had a long, and then had a love child. It's a pregnancy that lasted for 9 months. Imagine him squirming around like he goes back to his family, hey, honey. And he knows in his head, oh, I got some other young chick like pregnant. And then he's holding that in, that stress. And then she has the baby. And it's like, oh, my God, he must be going to bed at night. Like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? I'm ruining everything. And then I really have a problem with his quote. His quote to me comes off as very flippant and very just sort of not sort of taking note of the seriousness of the matter, right? He's like, that's fine. Okay, nice. I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and their forgiveness. Let's just move. No, dude. Let's acknowledge this thermonuclear explosion for what it is. This woman in this picture is about to unleash holy hell upon you. Dan's right. By looking at that ponum, you could tell there's evil behind that eyes, and she's definitely going to fucking like, listen, motherfucker, you just dragged me and my family across. She's not looking for this. Now she goes out to the grocery store, she goes out, whatever, and people are like, oh my God.
Oh, she's the one he cheated on with the young.
She's the one he cheated on. And it's like, like Dave Grohl, you know what? I'm doing everything I can. Motherfucker, it's over. You just took a hand grenade and threw it in your relationship and blew everything to bits, sending shrapnel everywhere.
And again, in our society, it could be argued that as fucked up as this almost makes her look worse than it makes him.
And that's very unfortunate.
I'm not. It is what it is. I mean, he's a male rock star.
Yeah.
You're gonna get people saying, "Yeah, bro, you should have worn a rubber." You'll get that, but otherwise, yeah, man, yeah. Whereas, like, she comes across as like the ice queen bitch wife, right? At least that's
well, and that's super unfair to her.
It is,
right?
It is unfair. But that's
here's this woman who thought, we can make fun of her ponum all we want, Dan, but like, she's this woman who like married Dave Grohl, 20 years, 3 kids together, everything's going good, and then this story comes out and she just gets hit with this. Like, can you imagine? Like, I love about stories like this is to be a fly on the wall in their house.
Yeah.
To hear what kind of conversations are taking place. Like, honey, what were you doing? Now we're all over the news.
And let's just bring it out there. Let's hit the thing no one wants to talk about. And Dave Grohl is worth $330 million.
Yeah, let's talk. Okay.
So I'm just.
But you looked it up. 330 mil.
330 mil.
Yeah.
I'm just being realistic. I'm just living in reality. I'm saying that. Because Dave Grohl is not just a person; he's like a business, right?
Oh yeah,
he's got a manager. He's got a manager. He's got a publicist. He's got an accountant.
Yeah,
and these people are saying to him, "Bro, if this shit goes sideways, you're out 175 mil."
Yep. Yeah. So I hope
now to you and me, it's like, who cares? I still have 175 mil. I don't give a fuck, right? But that's not how these people think.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about Dave Grohl is that, like, I'll be honest, I'm never a fan of this guy. You know what I mean? I don't like his music. I don't like his gum chewing, fucking swarmy smile, and just like the fact, he's a drummer. Kurt Cobain was the real genius. He fucking stole all his shit from. I'm just not a fan. But props to him for being. That being said, that I'm not a fan of his music or his personality. Same way I feel about Eminem and stuff like that. Props to the guys like this for making it in the music business, which I know from being adjacent to it. The guy wrote a lot. Very hard.
He wrote a lot of hits, and
he did.
I am not like I dislike Foo Fighters and Nirvana. I don't like either one. If
Yeah.
I had to pick, and you're like, I need you to pick which one you'd rather listen to, I guess I'd pick Foo Fighters.
Yeah, you're picking Foo Fighters.
I can't stand Kurt Cobain. I think he's wildly overrated. I think if he hadn't died, they wouldn't be remembered as this genius shit that people say.
Well, it's important to, you know what, that's another conversation, but definitely it's important to leave on top when you're younger. Shit, man, that's so much better.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it's terrible what happened to him. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying that one good thing came of it, and that everybody thinks
it's good for his legacy.
Everyone thinks he's Jesus Christ.
And that's what I'm saying. It's good for his legacy. I mean, it's better to, burn out quick than to fade away, but for sure.
The thing about this that I just find so interesting, and this is true of a lot of men, so it's not just him, but like the idea that you would allow your lizard brain, like we discussed, to nuke your life. You have nuked your life.
Yeah.
And like I'm assuming, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm assuming that he's got 3 kids. They're girls. That makes it worse.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture of him and his family right now.
Would imagine they ain't too happy with him either.
Oh my God. They all, I mean, it's just livid with him. And the thing about Dave Grohl and his brand, like you said, he's a business worth all this money. And part of his whole shtick is that he's this really great guy. Up till now when the story broke, everyone, Dave Grohl, what a great guy.
Yeah.
What a great guy. There's all these moments where he is on, like one time, he was on stage, right? You know how, so back a couple years ago when his drummer died, the Foo Fighters drummer died, that blonde guy. And it was a big story because, it was sad. It was like, I think he was an addict. He overdosed or whatever. But then Dave Grohl handled it really well and had like the drummer's son up on stage to play My Hero. And it's a big tear-jerking moment for everybody. And everybody's like, what a nice guy, Dave Grohl, right? So it is funny because in the dark hearts of all men lies this beast. And just like even great guys like Dave Grohl, have the lizard brain.
I'll tell you though, I don't get it. I do not like. I understand the urge, and I understand you see a really good-looking 28-year-old, and you're like, "Ooh, I get that."
But to cross the line,
but to take it past that point, I just can't understand it. I can't.
The money.
Can you not see? Can you not? Money's only part of it, but can you not see what happens the day after tomorrow when you do this?
So he's on.
Can you just not see that?
So I picture him with this, secret relationship girl. She's probably like early 30s, right? And this dude is as old as me. If I'm looking at a picture of him, he's got a fat head just like me.
I believe he's 55. He's about
okay. So he's just like this sort of like older guy. And so he is, I mean, I'm going to get graphic, but imagine like him kind of like on top of some 30-year-old chick, just plowing away, and he is just sticking it in, and there's no rubber involved, and she's like, "Oh, baby," and he's like, "Yes," and then there's that moment every guy knows, right? He feels like he's ready to nut. You know what I mean? It feels so good in there. He's just ready to nut, and this is what, if you get into that exact moment of this guy, and he's in there, and he's plowing away, and he's ready to nut, and he just goes, "Fuck it." He just goes, fuck it, and just fuck it. Oh, just right in her. And just like, and then like, that feels good, I'm sure, right? And then it's
guess what? It's all downhill from there. It's all downhill.
It's just
that is the part and again, this is what makes me different from most dudes. I think mostly about the day after tomorrow. I don't think about right now. Look, I'm a dude and I like girls too, but I cannot relate on any level to doing this. I cannot. I just can't. For so many reasons. Right?
Yeah, me and you definitely. That's why it's funny to talk about this, because me and you can understand the visual attraction and the lizard brain.
Of course, yes.
I'm like you. Like I would never, because it's kind of like, my thing is, I really like dancing the line, and I do like flirting, and I do like sort of the chase, you know what I mean? But there's a hard, okay, you know what I mean? Like a stop, like a line, whatever. And it's just so funny to picture Dave Grohl and like and any guy like this with a lot to lose and just go, fuck it.
I don't get it. I mean, it's not unique to him. Certainly, I just don't get it.
Oh, it's super common.
I just don't get it. Like, even if you take the selfish part out, which is my life will be nuked, I'm going to lose half my money. I'm going to have to, go home for the rest of my life. Look at this punum who's pissed at me. If I so much as want, I want a pizza tonight. If she doesn't want pizza, I gotta forever for the rest of my life do whatever she wants because
again, getting back to this quote, regain their forgiveness and trust.
Yeah.
It's gone, dude. Have you ever been with a woman before? Like, they're not going to forgive you. I'm sorry. I mean, I love women and stuff. They're not gonna. Ro once told me, she goes, what did she say? It's like, I'm not going to forgive. I'll forgive, but I won't forget, or something like that. It's like, it'll always be there. You know what I mean? Like, and you're right. Like, Dave Grohl will be like, hey, honey, you want to get some pizza? Oh, you want some pizza? Like, it's just always going to be there.
Always.
It's never going to go back to the way it was.
Forever.
She's never going to look at him with loving.
There's no good outcome. Either you stay in the relationship and there is a cloud over it forever, or you get divorced, which is awful and traumatic too.
I'm thinking, look, and he can go to like communication and couples counseling and all this. It just, I don't think it's gonna.
All she's gonna ever see when she looks at him is that him in that moment you described.
Or if she does forgive him and stuff like this, which is possible. The first time they get into an argument about anything trivial, anything. Up it comes. Yeah. And it's not her fault. That's part of her lizard brain. Like, she's always going to remember, like, this motherfucker. Oh, really? You don't like the Parmesan cheese on your pasta that I put on there? Oh, just like how you don't like me. Is that the deal? Just like it's always gonna come up, and he's toast. And it could almost be argued like the best. Like you said, there's no good outcome for this guy.
No.
I would almost say the better outcome for this guy is to be like, dude, just fucking get a divorce.
Yeah.
And really, just get a divorce.
Yeah, it would be worse in the short term, but much better in the long term.
Yeah, I would say get a divorce, give her half, and then do that thing where you become friends later on in life. But go through with the divorce. You got it. It's done.
Again,
and
though,
your adult daughters are never going to fucking forgive you.
Back up, though. How, during the course of this, whatever courtship he had with whoever this woman is, this other woman. God. Yeah. How does it not dawn on him that everything we're talking about, that you are looking at destroying, and the kid makes it impossible not to be destroyed, but even if there's no kid, let's say you wore a rubber.
Yeah.
I mean, you're eventually going to get popped.
Well, so I disagree. So say he is messing around, like, look, let's face it, he's a rock star. Rock stars, politicians, celebrities, they all do this. And you're all gonna, just like you watch The Sopranos, they all got what's the name Tony uses? I don't know. They all got like sort of women on the side. Powerful, famous men will always have like women on the side, whatever. And it's just part of the culture. It's unfortunate, whatever. And there are, it's bad and it's tough to keep it a secret. And that's one thing, but you have a kid with the fucking, no, dude, that's a new level.
Yeah. And again, there's the two things I just can't understand is A, how do you go through all this, get to the point where you're betting her, and because he probably banged her more than once. It's not like this was a one.
Of course, he's banging her more than once, right? And then so there's definitely like steps of horribleness along the way with this, right. So if he meets the new young chick, and he decides, let's fuck around. I'm going to cheat on my wife. Let me get a blowjob. That's step number one. He probably feels bad about it, but God, that blowjob was great, and he goes along his way, right? And then the second step, when one day, like, he gets to fuck her. He sticks it in, new pussy, right? He's like, oh, yes, that is great. That felt great. But boy, I feel like I'm cheating on my wife now. That's kind of sucky. yikes, I better keep this under wraps. But it sure did feel good, the new pussy after 20 years, So then that's another way of thinking.
So, but hold on. What is? Look at the first sentence in his little statement.
I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my wife.
Well, the first part, right?
Yeah.
My question is, if you truly love somebody, knowing that's the part I don't get. I get wanting to cheat. I do. I get wanting to change and date someone else and saying this isn't
the new hand in the pants, the fantasizing about it. Absolutely.
But how, in the end, this is what makes me weird, is that let's say in some alternate universe, I meet some woman and she likes me and she's into me and we start, becoming friendly and whatever. And I decide I really like this broad and, oh, wow, this would be fun, whatever. This wouldn't.
Right.
In this alternate universe.
Right.
I am telling you, the minute it became more serious than handshakes and smiles and dumb jokes, the first thought in my head would be the person I'm with now. I'd be like,
yeah.
And let's say for a minute, let's say that I was pissed at the person I'm with now. Let's say we're having a bad time. Because in all relationships, you go through ups and downs.
Sure.
Let's say you were going through a bad time.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. I would still be like, I can't do this to her. Like,
you said it right there. That
is a shit fucking move. And like, if it got to the point, if I were capable of this, which I'm not, but let's say I was capable of like sort of getting feelings for someone else while I'm in a current relationship, whatever. Let's say I was that guy. I would still say, all right, okay, tap the brakes before I utterly destroy the life I've got. Let's tap the brakes and let's ask ourselves, what are we doing? And then if I determine, this other girl, we'll call her Jane, and I'm into Jane, and Jane likes me, and Jane's 35. Ooh, yeah, whatever. Right? I still could never do anything because I would just be racked with guilt. And then the other thing is I would be feeling, I would look at from the point of view of the person I'm with and be like, that's just a completely terrible thing to do to another person, let alone someone you've been with for 20 years. You've been with this person for 20 years. Don't you owe them? Don't you at least owe them the courtesy of saying, look, I've never really thought of cheating or doing anything, but I've really I've gotten into kind of an emotional relationship with this person I met. At least, and then go, that would be hard. Don't get me wrong. That would be traumatic.
Look, it would be hard, but
nothing like this.
Yeah. And you know what, Dan, it would be hard, but it respects your partner because it's communication. I always talk about this. Like, and I go, I'm in lots of different communities and I'm been educated and aware of all these different variations of relationships that people have. And it's dizzying. It's definitely a lot different than what me and you grew up with, right? There's people that are polyamorous and there are fucking thruples and they're all like this kind of thing going on. And of course, we didn't grow up with this. And so now, the whole polyamorous thing, it's where people can have multiple. We used to call it.
I actually, you're not going to believe this. I actually have friends who are that.
I have a lot of friends who are like this. And I have very good conversations.
I could not do that.
I couldn't do it.
God bless him.
But here's why it's God bless them. Because they're communicating openly to all their partners about this. Yeah. And they're having these difficult conversations. And they're doing it for the sake of having everything be, respecting everyone's boundaries and stuff. Like, hey, are you like one time I was at Wasteland Weekend and I was camping near this couple who I knew were both polyamorous, right? I was like right next to them. And so I overheard in my tent them having a conversation about apparently the dude was fucking around with some other chick and blah, blah, blah. And I was listening to every word, Dan, because it was like this kind of intense conversation, but it was fearless and it was all kept in a very good tone of not being accusatory. And it all worked out in the end. It's like, hey, did you tell this person? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What did you think I would? Blah, blah, blah. And it never got into yelling. And it was all just like, wow, I was shocked. I was like, this is how it's done. And God bless them for being able to. I mean, because I think me and you were growing up with like having, look, our generation has problems with communication. Let's be honest. And
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm terrible. I'm terrible in many ways, but when it comes to this, I would be good because I could never in a million years do that. I couldn't do it. I just flat out couldn't do it.
But it's just I really, yeah, it's amazing. This whole story is amazing, and I just like. Let me add this. Without giving it away too much, I know someone in my personal life who has a story that is shockingly close to this. I know a person who is of somewhat of a celebrity status.
It's a guy
like the Dave Grohl, who had a relationship for a long time, who had the family, this is a person I know, a friend of mine, who then met a woman along very much the same route as Dave Grohl met this woman, and had the same thing happen. Started a relationship with this other woman, had a baby with this other woman, but what happened was a little bit different in his case. He started a relationship with this other young woman, thought that he could have both. This guy thought he could have a girlfriend and a wife.
And he didn't realize that this was a fucking time bomb.
He thought he could explain his way out of it, kind of in the same way Dave Grohl can explain his way out of it.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. And of course, it all just blew up. He wound up getting a divorce. He then went to the younger chick. The younger chick got pregnant, and they started a whole new family. You know.
He's still with her?
He's still with her, but of course now the younger chick looks like an older chick, and you know, just like, it's just like,
rinse repeat,
you know, and it's just like, and I remember when he was going through this whole thing, I was telling him, like, I saw this with my own eyes at that point where he was trying to make it work out with both of them. And I looked at him dead ass and I was like, do you really think this is going to work out? Are you seriously trying to have like the three of you? And this guy wasn't a polyamorous type of guy. This is like an old guy that's my age that just thought that he could just somehow explain it. Yeah. He's like, he had like the Dave Grohl vibe to him. Like, you know what? I'm just going to like explain my way out of this.
And you warned him ahead of time, this is not going to end well.
Dude, I saw it happening, and everyone else, you know me, I'm fearless. Well, you know, so everybody else was like, oh my God, do you see what he's doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm saying something. No, Bruce, don't say anything. I'm like, motherfucker, I am saying something. So I took him aside. I'm like, do you really think this is going to work out? He's like, yeah, because I'm like, no, it's not going to work out. No. Are you crazy?
No,
Are you crazy?
No.
And of course it blew up, and it was very much like, wow, dude. And so like, yeah, when I see shit like this going on, like, look, I do love the ladies. I do, man. I really, really, and me and you are the same too. Me and you are in relationships for like 20 years, you know? And I do love I love the ladies. I love to chat. I love to flirt. I love to sort of like, you know, be in the company. And you know, we've had conversations like, look, I like to go out there and flirt and whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? And so like, we have conversations just like you and Kara have conversations, and, you know, the communication is super key. I, for some reason, don't think that David Grohl is having these communications. He's probably like, can you imagine his guilt-ridden heart? He comes back. So imagine Dave Grohl. This is what I'm thinking. Dave Grohl, we're like month 3 in the pregnancy. He's already been told this woman is pregnant. They probably had these conversations like, I don't want to get rid of the baby, you know? And he's like, that's fine. I'll support you in any way I can. Meanwhile, he's driving home sweating about it, just thinking like, Jesus Christ, I wish she would just get an abortion. This is disaster. How am I going to keep this a secret? 4 months pregnant, 5 months pregnant. She's showing and all this. It's like, now he's like, oh my God, dude, what is going on? And like, he doesn't have the conversation.
And then he
tries to keep it a secret.
And oh, dude, there was a period before he went public about the kid where the wife knew, where he had to tell her, hey, I just want to let you know this is coming out. And
that was fun.
It's not good. Not good. Believe me, not good.
So the whole thing's a mess. The moral of the story is, I will say this is the moral of the story. Look, Dan, we're all men. right?
Yeah.
But you got it, but it's communication.
Yeah.
It's communication, and there are
And
many.
look, if you don't want to be married, don't be married. It's that simple.
But here's the thing. And I've learned this. There are so many. It's not just look. Back when me and you were growing up, there's either
I
you're
know, but
married
Dave
or you're
Grohl
not.
is not polyamorous, Bruce.
I know,
Nor is
but he
she
could.
his wife.
But it's not just together, married, single, or polyamorous.
You think
It's
she's
those three.
polyamorous?
No, no,
You
no.
really think that?
Let me
Is
just
that
hear
what
me
you're
out.
telling me?
It's
All right.
not that there's married and there's single and polyamorous in the middle, and it's those three. Dan, it's a grayscale. It's a grayscale.
Not for Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl is not in. He could if he was fearless about communication.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. My rich wife I've been with for 20 years. We have 3 children. I have decided that I'd like to have 2 other girlfriends, and I'm sure that's going to go over great. I'm sure no
with that
problem. With that punum. It sounds great. That's a great idea, Dave. Boy,
well, maybe okay. How about some point in the 20-year relationship when he notices things are just like I'm a little, maybe have a conversation then. Hey, I'm Dave Grohl. Like I don't know. He kept his mouth shut. He's afraid of
Dave Grohl does not attempt to tell his chick that he wants to be polyamorous. I'll tell you who does stuff like that. This guy. This guy tells his wife, he tells his girlfriend, "Hey, I want to be polyamorous." And then she laughs.
I would not. I know. I don't look. I don't get the polyamorous thing. And I have so many Wastelander friends who are polyamorous. It's like that community in particular is incredibly polyamorous.
No, right? I have a friend who is, and it's a guy, and there's right now I think there's 2. There have been as many as 3 women, and I have said to him flat out, my best is with 0 women. That's how I do the best. Like 0 is my sweet spot for doing well. I can barely handle 1.
0 is a challenge.
0 is really the good spot.
0 is the comfort baseline. Yes.
Yeah,
like
I'm
to just be
0.
alone, and single and just jerk off to the internet. That's a nice, comfortable place to be,
Yeah. So I wanted to shift to what's happening in your life.
We were getting ready.
I would like you. I have to pee, so I'm gonna have. This is like when you're on the radio and you put on a Peter Frampton album. It's gonna take over 8 minutes. It's gonna take me about 4 minutes, but I want you. Not even 4 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I want you to tell the audience about what is happening right now with the prep for this. Then I want you to talk about the day that you leave. I want the whole thing. I'm going to put this in the car. I'm going to drive to this spot. Here's how far away I'm going to go totally, because I don't think people understand. It's a 2-day journey. I know that because I know you. But
what's involved in just going to this event?
I want a Cliff Notes version, not too long, but I want to hear the spiel about, because I know you do the diet. We know about the diet. You've talked about the diet. Like,
dude, I weighed myself this morning. I am 153.9.
I want what you're loading in the car, where you're driving, what you're bringing with you, how long you'll be there.
All right, go pee.
All right.
I'll riff. Go pee. I'll riff for a while, and when you get back, I'll shift into the prep. So Dan is now going to pee. This is a new, unusual thing that's never happened on the Heeb Goy show, where Dan, has to pee. I thought I was the one with the weak bladder and the enlarged prostate because I'm 5 years older than Dan that would need to pee more often, and which is true. But Dan now has to abandon the show and go pee. But I will do what Dan says. So I'm getting ready to go to Wasteland Weekend. It's this post-apocalyptic event in the desert that I go to. It's about a week long. It's in Southern California. I spend a long time crafting different outfits. It has a very large cosplay aspect to it where you can dress up so it's a heavily themed thing. You can see here in the picture of all these Wastelanders getting ready to go to the event. This event's been going on for, I don't know, like 10 years, 12 years. And they don't let you in those gates there unless you are fully in a costume. That's how it is. They talk about it like it's an immersive thing. Like when you go in there and you're dressed up in this post-apocalyptic event and everything through those gates looks like you're on the set of the movie The Mad Max. There are no bright colors per se. There are no, like, the event coordinators take very much care into making sure that when you walk through those gates. Did you keep your earbuds in the whole time?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was
keep
talking.
Going. I've heard all this before.
Yeah. So, but anyway, 11. So I just was giving people the backstory on it and what it's like.
They want to make sure when you walk through the gates, you don't have any.
Yeah, you walk through the gates. And it's funny you chose this picture. Like, so we're looking from this where we're taking the picture now. It's part of the event, but it's part of the outside the city walls. Within those gates, they call the city. That's the city, right?
Right.
And when you pass through these gates, they got these sort of guards that are flanking either side of it that are dressed in these like shoulder pads and mohawks. That if you're walking in there with blue jeans and a t-shirt, they will stop you and be like, I don't think so. And it's tough to do. It's tough to enforce a fashion police type of thing. But when you walk in there, it's got to be 100% themed, right? And so, but outside here is like where the, general camping and stuff, but it's still heavily themed, But you want to talk about me getting ready. So it's been like, when I go to do something, Dan, whether it's my camping trips at East Jesus or going to like a desert rave or going to Wasteland, like I think my OCD takes over and I really go nuts in the prep. And for me, part of it, the prep is just like as all time consuming and in a way fun. Like just for me getting ready to go, it's like, okay, so say you go out to the desert, something like this, and you need to bring most people that are normal, like a human being that's normal would be like, I'll bring my toothbrush, I'll bring my deodorant, I'll bring some soap, whatever. I spend hours crafting the perfect little to-go kit with little travel bottles. Okay, this is my lotion that I use and I need this. And because if you drive all the way out there to the desert and if you didn't bring it, you don't have it. You know what I mean? So you don't want to drive all the way out there and be like, fuck, I don't have my chapstick. And you really need chapstick out there. You don't want to drive all the way out there and be like, damn it, I got hemorrhoids. I need Preparation H. I don't have Preparation H. What are you going to do? Like you got to think of everything, right? So I have been prepping like crazy. And it's funny you should bring the... stand by for 30 seconds. I'm going to get a mask I've been working on. Here we go. So I have been working on...
Reminder, this guy is 56 years old. This is why I love him.
So, Dan... All right. So are you with me still?
I just reminded the audience you're 56 years old.
Yeah,
I love it. 56
years old. Okay, look at this. So now this is a gas mask that I've been working on. And look, he's got like a ponytail.
Wow.
Made of like electrical conduit.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's got like this is an actual Russian gas mask.
I hope no one pees in that hose. That would be really unfortunate.
Yeah, so he got the hose and I took out the filter so you could just breathe through it. But by the way, you'll still get hot as hell in here. This is a rubber mask. This is not fun to wear long term, but here's the deal. Fashion is pain, Dan, and it looks cool, right? You know what I mean? Like it looks really cool. And I look super extra when I walk around this thing. Now look, this does have a hose that you breathe through, whatever. Now I've had super drunk people come. Imagine wearing this and super drunk people. I'm clean and sober, right? I've had people come up, take a big hit of weed, go, they blow it in here, thinking like that's going to be cool with me. At that point, I swat them away and they get yelled at, right? But like, look at the amount of crafting that goes into like this. And here's me using special glues. I got to make sure that 8 different types of glues, no glue really worked. I had to do all this. So then it's got a special stand. It has like a mannequin head in there that I got, like a hair cutting mannequin head mounted on a piece of drum hardware so that I can have this thing like sitting in my camp ready to go. Because you don't want to put this in a box. If you put this in a box, this thing gets crinkled. These things will get torn off, whatever. So there's a lot of work, Dan. Like that's just one mask of one of 3 outfits that I wear, and it's a lot of prep. And so I have this little car. Now I removed the back seat. I actually removed the front passenger seat, took it right out, right? And so now on the dashboard, it's like it blinks. It's like it's a 2009 little Toyota.
I know.
And so now it's got this thing blinking on the dashboard that says seatbelt, and like I don't even know. You know what I did to solve that problem? I put a piece of black electrical tape over it. And I'm like, let's just ignore that whole situation, because I didn't know.
So you're saying Ro would never ride in that car with you?
No, I can take the front seat, the front passenger seat. I can bolt in and out pretty easily at this point.
Okay,
it's just got 4 bolts. It's not something that I don't think you would be privy to doing. I think you would be you would like
that doesn't void the warranty, does it?
You would either like not do it, be concerned about the warranty, or like
yeah.
But I bought this car $5,000 straight cash, dude. I don't care what I do to it. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. So the car's got a weight limit too, right? Yeah. But like I know that I'm going to be filling this car to live in the desert. I figured it out, and I get to this event early and stay late. I get there 3 or 4 days early. The reason why is because this event starts on Wednesday. There's a long line of cars. Like you've heard about the horror stories about getting into Burning Man, where it takes 11 hours and you're in a car for 11 hours.
Yeah, I wanted to know about the check-in process for this.
So the check-in process is as follows. Like Wasteland works on volunteer basis. So you can get a free ticket. You can get into Wasteland for free and earn that ticket, which is probably $350. By volunteering to do one of many jobs, right? There's a lot of little jobs you could do. You could do a couple 8-hour shifts, I think it works out, and you get the free ticket. And that's how they keep costs down, and that's how you can get in for free.
Is that how you did it, or did you pay the money?
I've done the gamut. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've volunteered and gotten a ticket for free. But this year I am doing something a little bit different, Dan. And it's funny because remember I just told the story about doing like physical labor and how much I detest it, with that other job that was supposed to be the screen. So look, I've done everything at Wasteland. I've had the vehicle, I've done this, everything you can do at Wasteland I've done. One thing I haven't done is be part of the build crew and tear down crew, right? And that's where you could see like the big metal. All the shit is metal. That ain't cardboard. Those are that's sheet metal. All that shit is metal. It's heavy. So there's build crew and tear down crew, where you're literally building a city in the desert. They need a large crew of volunteers to do this. And I, in my great wisdom, now that I'm super poor and I don't want to work anymore, I'm like, look, I'm going to volunteer, right? But here's the deal. You're gonna love this. Now, Wasteland, of course, is open to people of all styles and all ability levels. And I let them know, and I had it's communication. So there's a guy that I know, and look, I definitely had some benefits because I know a lot of the people that are running the event after 10 years, right? I got like kind of an in. So I talked to some of like, the upper tier people, and I'm like, look, I'm interested in volunteering because I've never done it, but I don't want to do any hard manual labor. And the reason is because I'm fucking 56 years old and I got a torn meniscus. So don't be asking me to crawl up and down fucking, like shipping containers. Like I'm not doing it. There's plenty of younger dudes with strong backs that job is for. And to be fair, I know a lot of different people at Wasteland. There's one woman that's my age. She's like in a wheelchair and she volunteers. So they give her things to do that are like, time consuming, but there's all levels of ability that they give you.
So what will you be doing?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay, you get there and they tell you.
I get there, and I've seen this happen before. I'm there early and I stay late. And the reason you get there early and stay late is because the main gate of the main event opens at Wednesday, and that's where there's this long ass line of cars, the general population that wants to go to the event, and you're waiting in that line for 5 hours. If you got to take it, it sucks. And then so the car like creeps forward, and it's hot, and it's just I don't like waiting in line. I don't like crowds.
That's
whatever.
very efficient.
It's gotten more efficient like that, but if of course it's always somebody that's like, oh, the ticket's on my phone and I can't get reception. They tell you a million times, print it out on paper, motherfucker. We want the QR code printed out on paper. Younger people don't. Oh, I got it on my phone. There's a million, but what's cool about this event, like say they're pretty much like hard asses about it, which rules. So if to get the line moving along, you drive up to the check-in. They're going to give you a piece of paper to sign that says, if I hurt myself here, it's on me. And you got to show your ticket and blah, blah, blah. If you start fucking around to these people, and I love this about this community, like, oh, I can't find my ticket. I can't find my ID, whatever. They have this thing called a fail lot right next to like where you're driving in. And this is the gate. And this is where the check-in process is. If you're fucking around and you don't have your shit together, kind of like, getting in soup mode and ordering at the deli, like you got to have your shit together.
I love this idea. I love it.
So they got something, dude. They got something called a fail lot. So to keep things moving along, if you come up there and you're starting, I can't find this. They go, you know what? Pull over to the fail lot. We're gonna let other people through that have their shit together. You are going in the fail lot.
So you get like 20. You get like 30 seconds to prove that you have your shit together. You
got a minute. You got like a minute or two to be like, hi, I'm Bruce. Here's my ID. Yes, let me sign here. Here's my driver's license. Here's my ticket. Thank you very much. Like Costanza, you move right along. Right? You got to appreciate that. And if you don't have that shit together and you're fumbling, you're like, oh, yeah. Some people will be like maybe a little drunk or high. Like, yeah, let me see if I find, hey, is my driver's license? You know what? Fail lot. Let's go. Drive right over the people behind you.
Yeah, that would be it's satisfying. That's a job for you. That's your. Clapping. So it has been clapping people along.
And so, so I have been told by many people that Bruce, you need to do the gate. It's called the gate. You need to work the gate.
Oh yeah.
And work the line and work the gate. And this is a job for you, Bruce, because they know
you were made for this. You need. To
I know, but I know. So they know that about me.
You determine whether they go to the fail lot.
Of course. And so a lot of you, it's funny that you say that because a lot of people have said you need to work the gate and you need to determine, you need to clap this on.
My ticket's on my other phone. I left it back.
No, guess what? Fail lot. It's not. You thought it was going to be 5 minutes. Now it's going to be an hour. Fail lot.
Yeah.
Why don't you go over there and look for it? And I'm going to let other people through that are in suit mode.
Yeah.
Are you
but
not
I got
in
my
suit mode?
son Ace in here, and he's special needs.
No, sorry, he's not getting in. Fail lot. You know what I mean? Like that. So like, I would have been good at this. But I'll tell you what. Sometimes if you're good at things, doesn't mean you want to do it. You know what I mean? Like
dude. This is meant for you.
So I decided I didn't want to do that because it's a lot of stress. It is. It's a lot of stress.
Well, yeah, you get one dickhead who gets pissed off at you.
I'm not doing it, Dan. Yeah, I've got trauma from working my last job, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is they're probably going to have me do a lot of like, really just sort of like menial, like, look, we need you to take this bucket of bolts and bring it over there to that site, or we need you to measure this out 60 feet and put a stake over there.
I know I've asked this before. Are there shitters on site? Are there porta potties?
Lots of porta potties on site, plenty of them. In fact, they've really upped that situation. Okay. It used to be a really bad situation. Now, not only do they have shitters.
You told me you shit in a bucket, so why don't you go to rather that than go to the porta potty?
Well, that's my own mental. Yeah, I shit in a bucket because that's my own mental.
What if you have to? Well, you can piss just anywhere, I guess.
No, if you have to piss, like I'll be honest, I got like a piss jug situation. Like when I'm in my like. What's that guy's name on Howard Stern? He was called Riley, right?
Riley Martin.
Yeah. So Riley Martin. Yeah. So I've got like piss jug situation, and I've got ways of skirting the problem. But like, yeah, they don't want people pissing on the dirt everywhere.
Okay, so where does the car go, and then where does the tent go? Do you park next to where you're camping?
You can do both ways. There's a parking lot where you can park your car, and if you park in the parking lot, it's kind of easier if you need to run into town. But if you go and you camp and you have your car as part of your camp, you have to throw a tarp over it that's tan, not blue, and you have to hide it. You cannot have people taking pictures of what looks like a post-apocalyptic theme and have like a fucking Prius in the background.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you can't have
I love that. Good.
So you got, and they're even telling you no blue tarps. In fact, the color blue bright blue is frowned upon. Yeah. The color bright blue is frowned upon. Because when you watch Mad Max, these movies, you don't see, it's a lot of like, look at this photo, Dan.
Yeah.
Do you see him wearing a bright? It's a lot of
No.
brown. It's a lot of tan. This is what it's about. This is what you want it to look like, you know. So I am getting ready to do this. I've been getting ready for a
has
week.
anyone ever attempted to bring their kid?
So as you know, Dan, me and you, Dan and I are child-free by choice. I found this event about 13 years ago when I Googled events to go to that are adults only. I stumbled across. Now I love Mad Max. I wasn't Googling cool Mad Max things to do. I was Googling what's an event that I can do where there will be no children? What is an 18
so under 18 is not allowed, period.
Yeah, the way that it works, and it's always been this way. It's 18 and up, and of course 21 and up to drink. So they, just like at an all-age concert or whatever, you'll get a special wristband if you are 21 and you can drink, you know. But it's 18 and up. There are no little kids running around. Dan,
I wish,
it is such a pleasure.
Much as I'm happy for you about that, part of me wishes there'd be the one asshole who brings their fucking 8-year-old.
They're not allowed in the site. Like they're
no,
like
I know,
but it's happened, Dan. It has happened.
That's great
during the line is where I told you there's the fail lot and there's a line, whatever. And they search RVs too. Like if you pull up in a big RV, they're going to be like, we're going to walk through your RV to make sure there's no people hiding back here, whatever.
Well, of course, yeah.
And so like an unticketed person, and of course, there might be a child back there. Someone will roll up and say, hey, maybe can you make an exception? I got a kid or I got a dog. You know what I mean? And so, no, they're not going to make exceptions like that. Partly because if I'm running this event, can you imagine the fucking lawsuits and the red tape and it's California.
I know. I'm just saying you have a crowd of this size. There's going to be one asshole probably each year who makes a serious attempt to get an exception for ASIN.
Dan, I would say that's true, but that attempt doesn't happen in the line. I would say that attempt happens on the Facebook groups that I'm in where somebody says, hey, can't you, I really need to just make an exception. And God bless them, the powers that be, the creators of the event are like, no. There was one exception one time, and I'll tell you how it went down, and it was fine. So remember when Mad Max came out in 2015, the big newer Mad Max movie, you know?
Yeah.
And have you seen this movie?
I've heard it's good, but I have not seen it.
Wow. You don't watch a lot of movies, do you?
No, I don't.
Anyway, so 2015, the new movie comes out. It springs a lot of life into the Wasteland Weekend franchise because, of course, there's new characters. It's a new movie. It's a new take, and everyone's excited about it. There's a character in the movie called, now I forget his name now. He's a really big, muscular guy that's one of Immortan Joe's sons, and he's played by this actor named Nathan something. And so I can't believe I forget his name too. But anyway, long story short is they got a guy from the real movie to show up at Wasteland, like the actor in the real movie.
That doesn't count. But he's not 18 is what you're saying.
So no, he's a grown man like us, but they got him to show up. They got this guy to show up at the event. He's a major actor and he's a major player in the new movie. He's like one of the main dudes. They got him to show up during the 2015 event, which happened 4 months after the movie came out.
Oh, wow.
So it was hot. So this dude showed up. Not only that, the fucking studio let him buy, because, you know, in the movie, they don't let you keep the outfit. They let him borrow the outfit that he wore in the movie to go to Wasteland Weekend to make a special appearance.
Wow.
It was a big deal, and I fanboyed hard. So they put him in a post-apocalyptic vehicle. They're driving him around, you know, and there's the guy from the movie.
Wow.
And so we're all like, you know, we're going nuts to see this guy in the flesh, in the outfit that he wore in the movie, there at Wasteland. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It was fucking special. It was really, and it really hit me in the feelings.
Okay.
Now, so of course this guy in real life has a wife and a kid, and the kid, you know, the kid is like a newborn baby, right?
Oh no.
So I think it was sort of like they said, look, you can get an RV and stay in the special section that they said, look, you can be out there with your kid and your wife and kid who's a newborn baby. It's not like they're running around.
Yeah, that is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a newborn. That wouldn't be as bad because
no one saw the white. No one saw the white.
They can't bother anybody.
No, dude. No one heard the baby crying. They were totally in a different section. You know what I mean? Wasn't
it doesn't count. That doesn't count. I meant like a 7-year-old.
No, dude. Can you imagine? So, and part of the reason why I love going to this event, like me and you don't like kids, right? So I'm going to this event, and for 5 days when you're there, and it's guaranteed you're not going to hear a child running around. Doesn't exist. Guaranteed, ironclad. I mean, there are places that you've told me that you've gone to where like there's a high likelihood that there's not going to be a child around. And if there's a high likelihood, whenever there's a high likelihood the child's not going to be around, there's going to be a child around. It's going to happen. This one, guaranteed, ironclad, etched in stone, ain't going to be no kid running around.
I am fascinated with the idea of those, like you said, on the forums and stuff where people will ask. I love that. And then they're just told no. I love it.
Yeah, they don't look, and it's very accommodating as far as like different people's ability levels, and of course
it's different because that's not affecting other people, right?
Right.
But you bring a 7-year-old and you let them run wild, you're affecting other people.
Yeah, and of course you're not allowed to have dogs, but people have service dogs and stuff. We know all about that.
Yeah.
But even that is highly vetted. Like it's not like Home Depot where anyone can come walking in there. And it's my service dog, and no one's gonna question it. Yeah. You have to really prove to these people at Wasteland that look, okay, this is for real, my service dog.
So they run a tight ship. I love that.
They run a really tight ship because look at this picture. You don't want imagine I'm looking at this picture and some dude who's wearing one year there was a guy wearing a bright tie dye, a hippie rainbow tie dye. This guy got just absolutely are you fucking kidding me? No. So I'm getting ready to go real soon. I'm super excited. I'm getting my outfits ready. I'm trying to get my camping gear ready. It's a challenge to do in this little car. You asked me about the shit bucket. I don't it's my own personal thing where I don't like going to porta potties. I think it's gross.
Don't blame you.
I would much rather do my little camping style. And there are lots of different sort of toilet situations that people use in the, nomad situation or in the boondocking community. There are clean, vetted ways to do it that are ethical and everything's fine.
What do you eat for that week?
So, Dan, this is a new thing that I will talk about a little bit. So as you know, I've been getting ready on a diet to go to this event because I run around shirtless at this event. Now, look, I'm a 56-year-old man. No one wants to see, like a guy with a big gut hanging out. Now, of course, they always say, there's no body type in cosplay. I just don't want to be the grossest 50-something-year-old guy out there. I do a lot of cosplay type characters who are thin. There's one character that plays the drum on the back of the movie. It's called the Doof Drummer, and I have a screen accurate. I have a screen accurate mask and outfit that the guy wears. In the movie, the guy's shirtless, and he's like a 20-something-year-old buff guy who plays drums. Now, I'm not going to look like that, but I don't want to look so much. I don't want to be this enormous fat guy.
Right. You don't want to be the fat. I have a friend who used to go to Comic-Con. He said there was always a fat Xena.
There's always a fat Xena. I mean, and it's fine. I mean, look, other people can be the fat Xena.
You're allowed.
You're allowed to. I just don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be the fat Xena.
Yeah. I don't want. So if I'm going to be Doof Drummer, so I've been on this very intense diet, and Ro's not around here, so I'm really able to focus. Dan, I got to tell you, I just weighed myself. I'm 153. Man. I haven't seen 153 in 8 years. I am normally 168 pounds. So I do the math. What's 168?
You lost 15 pounds.
Yeah.
That's like 10% of your body weight. That's a lot.
And you know what's funny? It's all in my belly. It's all like a bowling ball in the belly is now gone. And I've been working out at the gym. The arms are strong, everything. I've been walking 4 miles a day out in this heat. I'm insane. And so what am I going to eat when I'm out there? Good question. Normally when I go out there, I bring like a cooler and I bring like a little Coleman stove and I eat a lot of hamburgers and hot dog. Normally I will eat a lot of hamburgers and hot dogs and I eat, I bring hamburger rolls and hot dog rolls and I eat, a lot of that kind of stuff. And then there's camping type food too. A lot of like, beef jerky and like, I like eating cashews, and canned beanie weenies, things like that. But this year, okay. And so the problem is I've gotten myself down to 153 where I'm going to look good doing this event. But I know that if I drive out there and I do all this work for 2 months to get thin, and the last 3 days, this has happened before, where I go there and I get in shape, and then the last 3 days before I have to take off my shirt and be on camera, I fucking eat hamburgers and hot dogs, and within 3 days, boom, I'm back up and the belly's back and all that work down the drain. So this year I've decided, dude, I'm doing something different. I'm going to continue my really strict diet that I've been doing here, which involves eating very small portions of mainly canned chicken with a little mayo in it. Yeah. And dude, I eat rotisserie chicken. I eat cans of string beans. I don't have nothing made of flour. Nothing made, no flour, no sugar, no pizza, no pasta, nothing except for a cheat day when you bought me pizza. But other than that, and that's what's been working for me.
What is the name of the town that you stay where the motel is?
Where you go there? Yeah, you would love this.
Because I know this is the place you went, if I recall.
Yeah.
Where there was a guy who wiped his kid's ass on the table. Oh, no. That was when you went to East Jesus. No. You're right. Yeah.
That was East Jesus. But it's.
So you stay in a little motel.
No. Wait a minute. That was Wasteland Weekend. Yeah. So there's a little town. You can Google it. So Wasteland Weekend is in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of the Mojave Desert. There are 2 small towns. The closest 2 small towns are each a 40-minute, 30-minute drive away on dirt and highway roads. That's how isolated this place is. And so one town is called California City, which is a small population. The other town's called Boron, which is another really small.
Boron, that's where you go.
So a lot of people go to California City. That's technically the closest town where a lot of people base themselves out of. I don't like California City. Something about this town creeps me out. I go to Boron, which is really small. There's 2 motels that are both very shady and small. And it's like one restaurant, and it's literally one restaurant and one little store. But Dan, I like Boron because they've got these train tracks that are across the street from it, and it's real quiet, real desolate, and it's just lovely. I always get a room in the Boron Hotel, and yeah, they got one restaurant, and the restaurant's good. They got it's a Mexican restaurant that serves cheeseburgers, and I'm breaking tradition. I love tradition. And so normally I go there and I have an enormous meal at the burger place before I go there when I come back, an enormous meal. I'm keeping my diet regime strong until halfway through this event. This event is from Wednesday.
Don't you stay there twice? Don't you stay there on the way down and the way back?
Yeah. So I drive all the way out there and I stay there for a night or 2. And then post-event, I stay there for a night or 2. Two nights.
Yeah, because you get back from the event, you're gross, you need a shower.
I want to shower and I will sleep for 24 hours. I will literally just lounge around. And because it's been a long time since I shower. So yeah, what I'm going to eat this year when I'm out there, not much, Dan. Not much. I'm eating hardly anything right now. The reason that I've lost a bunch of weight is because, you know how normally you have a plate of food, it's like this? I've gotten a saucer that's for a cup of coffee. One trick that I use, and that's the plate that I will use to eat from. Whatever fits on this little, it's insane. But Dan, I'm so vain. I'm so vain. Yeah. And it's just I want to, because photos last forever. When I do these types of things, and I get in these, I'll admit, Dan, I'm going to flex a little. My cosplays are very good, right? I don't want to be that guy. So my cosplays are very good. When I'm wearing this outfit of this guy,
Yeah.
It's like a full gimp suit that's like a fake, like a gimp suit. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be a fat. I don't want to be a fat gimp. I want to
No.
be a thin, in shape, wiry gimp. And I do a lot of, Daniel laugh at me this, I do a lot of go-go dancing when I'm there. Well, last time, now listen to this. Last time I went to Wasteland Weekend, they have like a bar and they've got a main stage where entertainment is going. And they've got elevated platforms with a pole that they have these all over. Elevated platform with a pole with lights on it. And, traditionally back in the day, it would be nothing but like hot chicks up there dancing, right? Scantily clad hot chicks dancing on the pole, whatever. Now, in a progressive society, we have different types of people that are up there, including yours truly, 50-something-year-old man, head to toe.
I have a question.
Sure.
So this event sounds like my worst nightmare, but let's say
part of me thinks you would really like it. I really do.
I think there are things I would like. So here's my question. Let's say one year I decided, fuck it, I'm going to go, right? Could I go for a day or two? Do I have to go the whole time?
You can go. You can just look. It's for 5 days. It's really 4, but it's for 5 days, and it starts on Wednesday. It goes to Sunday. A lot of people do this. And they'll be like you. A lot of people are not into this whole porta potty thing. You can get a rental RV. Ooh. You can go for Friday and Saturday night. That's 48 hours. Ooh. You will have a night, and there's a special section for the big RVs where you're back there living in total comfort. You're going to have air conditioning, regular, everything you have in your little trailer right there. You can live in total comfort, and you can choose. And then you leave the comfort of your little RV to go into the city, enjoy it a little bit. And when you've had enough, I've had enough, I'm going back to the comfort of my RV. A lot of people do that. And you could do it.
To see, let's say I've decided to do this. The closest airport. Oh man. Holy shit! This is
a lot of people got to go to. You got to go to LA and drive.
It'd be LA.
You got to go to LA.
Bakersfield's not too far.
It's far. You got to go to LA. Rent one of those Cruise America RVs. A lot of people do this. It's super common. There's dozens of them out there. A lot of people are like you, and not many. I'd say it's half and half. There's a lot of people like me that are just really just like out of hand and just camping in the dirt and love it and really get into the whole vibe. And then there's people that are like you that are like, I really want to experience this, but I want my comforts, which is fine. And so you get the RV, you could fly into LA, then get your RV and drive out there and live in air conditioning, and it's fine. And just a couple hours, I'm going to go just enjoy the nightlife. There are some people that go out there and events happen all day out in the sun. It's like 95 degrees out there. People are like, no, they'll stay in the RV all fucking day, just come out for the nightlife. And you would like it because there's no kids, right? Here's the deal. There are no kids. There are a lot of attractive people to look at and interact with. Scantily clad is like, look, you're going to see some titties. There's some titties out there. I mean, there's nudity out there straight up. And, you might see a couple birds hanging out too. That's the thing. There's like, look.
I'm looking at the event. Wow, it's sold out.
Oh yeah, it's been sold out. Here's another good thing about the event, Dan. They cap it at 4,000 people. Once they sell 4,000 tickets, done. Because Burning Man is now ruined, more or less, because there are 70,000 people out there.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And it's like, can you imagine? Now, 5,000 people is a good. Let me tell you something. It's a great number, 4,000 people, because it's not like those 5,000 people are going to be any one place at all time. It's a city that's spread out, and there are little camps that are like nightclubs, and you can go to one little place and another little place, and there's never going to be more than a.
Boy, this really is in the middle of nowhere, man. But Bakersfield's not too far. Bakersfield's only like probably 40 miles away, 50 miles.
Yeah, but then to get to the event I think you got to go to some rural roads by California City, and then you got to take a dirt road, which is like a hard packed dirt road.
I'm looking at it, but like if I were to come. Assuming Bakersfield has an airport. I've heard of Bakersfield. They've got to have an airport.
Yeah, it's a bigger town, Central California.
That would be the place to fly into.
You could fly
otherwise LA. Yeah.
Yeah. I really think, and here's the thing. Yes, it would be fun for you to go with Kara, but it would be more fun for you to go by yourself.
Yeah.
Really. I've had good friends in my life who are like you, who are coupled up. And one time, the dude went with his wife, and another time he went by himself. And let's just say you have a better time because the wife didn't really want to go, just kind of went, you know what I mean? And so you really want the person to really want to go. And so it's a lot of chaos. I mean, I know you're like Howard Stern, where you like watching kind of crazy behavior, right? Like outskirts behavior, and all that'll be in full effect right in front of you to watch and interact with.
Yeah, this is the type of thing that as long as I could stay in like a little RV, that'd be
absolutely
a little camper.
I would even do you one better, Dan. I would make you the coolest fucking outfit, and you can walk around in a cool outfit. And you know what? You can have a couple beers and mix it up.
Could I be like, what I would do to be funny is I'd dress in like a Star Trek uniform.
No, absolutely not.
Would I get yelled
You're not allowed in.
In a Star Trek uniform?
Absolutely not.
But that's cosplay.
It's not a cosplay event. It's a post-apocalyptic event.
I know. What if I'm all right? Post-apocalyptic. How about the Klingon world of Kronos after the supernova?
No. If you go to the website, that's funny. There's like long paragraphs that are quite nerdy about like what is allowed and what's not. They even tell you like there's this thing where like, look, we don't want you wearing anything that's going to be like, you can't be like a post-apocalyptic Spider-Man, or you can't be a post-apocalyptic, Santa Claus. Like,
no, of course not. All right.
But
there's some way to tie it into Star Trek, though. Like,
there's not. It's been. There are people that are trying to crowbar things in every year. The same way people try to crowbar in a kid. Someone's like, well, what about, they try to argue, like, what about technically if I'm the guy from Dune, which is sort of dystopian, and what if I make him, no, you're not, no, absolutely not.
Dune would be closer than Star Trek, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe Baron Harkonnen. I look like Baron Harkonnen, I could do that.
I mean, so the event organizers did start another event that's at a different time on the same property that's called Neotropolis, where it's more cyberpunk, and they do allow, it's more like neon and cyberpunk and Dune and Star Trek.
Now, if I went, I would, I would do what I got to do costume-wise, but I would mainly just want to observe. I would go.
Yeah, no, and a lot of that, it's so valid, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people don't need a, like, look, they tell you a lot. Like, you don't need to have the most special, super cool outfit. I do, because I'm super extra. I need to have the coolest outfit out there. I need to be.
I could just be like a regular post-apocalyptic.
It's called Wasteland.
I could be post-apocalyptic schmuck. That would be
it's super common. And you just wear like, you just wear some dirty clothes, look semi-homeless, kind of look like, and just sort of like walk around, and you could just have your beers and stuff and like watch the pretty go-go dancers and interact with them. They have a casino. You can fucking gamble. They've got a lot of little activities. You would have fun out there, Dan, from what I know.
That is a long trip. That's all. But yeah.
It's a long trip, and it is, it's going to be. But if you did something like, look, Bruce, I'm flying out Friday morning. I get to the airport. I'm renting the RV. I'm rolling in Friday afternoon. I park. We'll do some Friday night activities. Saturday morning, most of the day, just chill. Come out Saturday afternoon, Saturday night activities, and then Sunday morning I leave. And it's something you could do. It's something a lot of people do, especially people from LA. Anyway,
I'm from the opposite coast, but yeah, that would be. But yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. Dan,
let me tell you. So let me just get back to the. I found it searching for a child-free event. Like I really, and when I first started going to this thing, I love the Mad Max universe, but there is something really special about being a place where you don't see or hear a child screaming in the background for whatever reason, not once. And what's great about it is a lot of the adults, actually most of the people that are there probably have kids, right? But when they're there, it's almost like, it's funny, they're taking a break from their fucking kids as well, because there's a lot of people out there who are parents and stuff. They don't talk about their fucking kids. It's great. Like, the person's got kids, but they're not like, gee, my son Nathan would really like this. No. They don't talk about Nathan. They're enjoying the fact that it's like, oh, I can, there's going to be some nudity. I can behave a certain way. I don't have to worry about my fucking kids. And it's great. You don't hear my kids screaming in the background. It's wonderful. It's
Yeah, one of these years, man. It's just it would require a lot of planning, but I think I wouldn't rule it out.
Well, one of these years,
maybe for like my 60th birthday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the old guys there.
9 years from now, you'll be.
Yeah, Dan. Here's the deal. I'm still a young pup out there. Dan, there's a lot of people out there.
You'll be 65 when I'm 60.
Think about this: the movie Mad Max, the original.
Yeah, it came out in the 80s.
That's a 1981 movie. 81. The Road Warrior came out.
40.
So this whole event started around fans of that movie, not the 2015 movie.
Of course, yeah.
So it was started
what's the one with Tina Turner? That was the second one?
That's the third movie, Beyond the Thunderdome, which was released in 1985. Mm-hmm. So, the whole event was started around kind of older dudes that are fans of this old 1981 movie.
But my favorite Mel Gibson work is the recordings of him they played on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, I love that. I love that work so much.
Do you want a jacuzzi?
Oh, my God.
You bitch.
There was nothing better. You bitch.
Yeah.
There was nothing better than when those recordings came out, and it was like a week. Remember how Howard broke it up over like a week?
Oh God, it was
to like
so
20
good.
minute at a time.
Why do you talk to me this way? Because you're a fucking worthless cunt.
It was great.
God, it was
how about the line where he goes, "I want you to," what did he say? He yelled at her. It's like, "Smile." And what did he say?
And blow me.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm a very drunk Mel Gibson. I just want you to smile and blow me. I'm like, this guy. Wow, I can't believe she got that.
Those were the days, man. Those were the days. Yeah. So to segue away with that, this weekend.
I'm sorry about yammering on about.
No, it's all right. Next weekend will be the Howard show. I'm going to do with Christina. If you are at all interested, Howard just had a very embarrassing thing happen. Howard doesn't
really tell me what, because I don't listen anymore. I'm like, what happened?
Neither do I. I just know what Christina tells me. So as you know, Howard has not gone physically into the studio since pre-2020.
Really, I didn't know that. Really,
he still is doing it from his basement. Now I don't know.
4 years?
Yeah, I don't know that he's still scared of a virus. I don't know if it might just be that he likes working from his house, that's fine, I guess. But so he's in the Hamptons on Zoom.
Oh my God.
And so they bring the celebrities in, they sit them on the sofa, and they look at Howard on a fucking monitor. And he interviews them. I mean, it's terrible.
Terrible.
So they tried to interview Aubrey Plaza. You know who that is?
Yeah, I love Aubrey Plaza. She's super like weird and eclectic and
I like her too.
Very quirky. She's fucking rad. There are many clips of her on Letterman where she's just amazing.
I like her
Big fan.
Yeah, so she's
probably not having it.
Exactly. I did not listen to the interview, and apparently she didn't come across all that great either. But basically, it was just a disaster.
I can imagine.
The thing that's funny, the funniest part about it is Howard apparently since then has talked shit about her. And the thing that's so great about it is he is so in a bubble of Emperor's New Clothes.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that she's about 1,000 times more relevant than he is now.
Oh, she's hot right now.
People love her. She was in White Lotus. She's very popular. The whole thing. And,
yeah, dude,
it's pretty funny. So Christina has the details of that. I only know a little bit, but
oh my God,
apparently it was so cringe.
I bet it was super cringe because her whole thing is when she's on Letterman or Fallon or whatever, she's there in person and it's very freeform. She's an artist, so it's very freeform. You got to roll with the punches and sort of pick up on. And I can picture her looking at a very old and just
there's a 70-year-old guy in the Hamptons
on a fucking TV. She's probably not having it.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? I'm a huge fan of hers, man. She's
I like her too. She was really good in I didn't know about her until White Lotus, but she was really good in that. And she's funny. She seems like a bright person. She's good. She's a good actress. She's funny. And I'm not going to listen because I just can't stand the sight of his sound of his fucking voice anymore. But apparently it was pretty bad. So I love that. But he's rich, so no one's going to tell him that he's irrelevant now.
And so next Sunday you'll be here. Well, when we record this,
it'll be next weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to record it.
I won't be here. Right, a week from right now. I will be getting ready. I will be in.
So you
Boron.
leave Wednesday? This coming Wednesday?
No, I leave this coming Saturday. I leave in 6.
Okay. All right.
So I'm there. I'm boots on the ground. Like I get there real early and I stay.
So wait a minute.
late.
If you leave a week from yesterday, which is the 21st.
So yeah, I leave.
When are you
check
back?
It out.
When do you get back?
October 3rd.
Oh, so you're okay. So there's 2 Saturdays.
2 Sundays I'm missing.
2 Sundays. Oh, so
I told you last week.
Yeah. I screwed up. Okay.
So yeah, I'm
so the 21st and we would normally record the 22nd and the 29th. You will not be on those. This weekend I'll have Christina. I'll probably do another show with Substitute Goy the following weekend. Maybe I'll find another Goy or I'll do one with her. And then you will return and I will want to hear every fucking little story. In fact, I will probably ask you while you're there, other than stuff you don't want to share publicly. If you don't want to share it publicly, tell me about it.
Oh, yeah.
If you do want to share it publicly, wait until you're back and I'll hear about it then. Because I want to
sure. I mean, there's, you know what, and when everyone goes to Wasteland, it's funny. There's like definite like this weird sort of lore and element to Wasteland when you're there. That's like, what happens at Wasteland stays at Wasteland. It's like a Vegas kind of thing.
I mean, I love every year there's something that happens that you're like, hey, you're not going to believe this.
Oh my God. It's so great. It's so great. So, yeah. So like I'll be there, boots on the ground. I'm going to go and be in Boron for 2 days before the event. And then I go to the event early on Monday and set up my ridiculous camp. And then I'm there for I got to, volunteer, do some work on Tuesday. And then the event is on Wednesday. And they've got me doing events. Like there's a big long line of cars that wait on Wednesday morning to get in, and they line up Tuesday at midnight. So it's this long line of cars, miles long on this dirt road. Guess who wakes the cars up? Me.
Oh, no.
So they put me on the back of a big vehicle dressed up as the drummer. I bring my real drum out there, and they have me drive down the side of the road at 5:30 in the morning, Dan, playing that drum as loud as I can. And my whole in the outfit too, by the way. And in a big car with a lot of war boys yelling and screaming. So it's a theatrical, fun way to wake the people up in the car to be like, okay, hey, time to wake up and get ready to drive in and have your IDs ready and shit like that. Because people are partying in the line the night before. They'll drink all night long and with, you know what I mean? And it's my job to wake them up and be like, okay, let's go. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of video of it. People are like, oh my God, look at this. I'm the first thing they see when they go to Wasteland. I mean, the first fucking thing they see, this crazy guy playing drums, wearing this outfit that's a dead ringer for the outfit that they saw in the Mad Max movie. Like, oh my God, there's the doof drum. He's playing drums. It's really exciting, and it's a lot of fun to do. And it's the reason why I'm going through so much work to look the role. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You are dedicated. All right, we're an hour and a half. I'm gonna run. So everyone wish Bruce good luck in the comments, and we will talk to him in 2 more weeks, and then we will see who my substitute Goy is for the next.
I love Christina.
She'll be next week for sure. I'll probably get her to do both, but I might find another sub Goy just for variety.
All right.
And you'll have your phone. You'll know what's happening.
Yeah, when I'm there, I'm gonna make sure to gather some content.
Well, remember, you can go on Apple Podcasts and just get the audio, and that way you don't have to deal with the video and downloading or anything because the audio will be quicker.
Yeah, when I'm out there, like I said, I got no cell service, and it's just kind of
there is none. Okay,
well, all right. There is, but it's super rare. Everything gets crowded on this one tower, so it's kind of another fun thing about it. You put your phone away. You just don't and I'm a guy who's on my phone all the fucking time, so it doesn't work. It gets too hot out there. The iPhone, as you know, the iPhone when it gets hot, will shut itself down.
Yeah, I know that's true.
So it's like I just fuck it.
All right, take it easy. I
love you, brother.
To the stories and everything.
Oh, there will be some stories,
and we will see what happens next time.
Heeb Goy.